Hey, greetings, this is Classic Games Redefined. My name's Rich. I'm just gonna figure, since the new Pixels trailer is released, I figured I would talk about it a bit. But I'm not gonna find the video game characters or what other people do in it. What I'm doing here is I'm actually gonna discuss kind of a metaphor I see relating to way perceptions have things in the basic plot of the movie here. This is not a spoiler. I could have did a spoiler too. If you didn't want to know anything else, I'm really sorry about this. Feel free to pop out and, I'm going to be discussing a main plot point that's in the teaser trailer. So, you don't want to know anything about Pixels. I don't know about your buying decision or anything else, but anyhow, feel free to tune out here. If you're doing it, just please listen on. You're going to understand why I have the people over there. Just I saw a metaphor here, so I'm going to try to philosophize over it. I'm not going to... My impression was I'm happy to see anything video game related. See if they can translate another medium. Hopefully it does well and gets media attention. I'll give a little bit of story about the movie Pixels. There was a trailer, I believe, called... Not a trailer. There was a small thing called Pixels. I believe it was a short. Video short. That was done that showed video game characters invading a city. So, Sony, so I believe they're coming out with this. Looks like they had an interest in it and felt, because of Wreck-It Ralph, there was some potential here. So, what they did was, this is a full movie with Adam Sandler, etc. in it, and it has to do with the aliens in the 1980s were sent a culture file. A culture. A picture of different things. Ronald Reagan, a Rubik's Cube, and video games. Unfortunately, and this is the part where I cut to it, we will have a link to... I'm going to do the little info box, and I'll have a link to the trailer. They're also posted below. They apparently had they interpreted the situation the wrong way. And that's the main point I want to focus on here, what I see here as a metaphor. What you see going on in the culture war and everything else you have here. The guys who create the games have certain intentions in mind on what they want to do here. And their idea is to focus on fun. Now, look at the history of Grand Theft Auto, for example. Idea was to work on a cops and robbers game. Unfortunately, what it was is that the criminal side ended up being more interesting, so the developers decided to do an open sandbox game. I'm talking about the original 2D game. Decided to do an original game where you stole cars and everything, made a Grand Theft Auto, and the whole controversy, and there's people who will play off of this. And the end result was, by misinterpreting this, there can be states of war and everything else, and they go under attack. You see here in the upper right-hand corner, see good old Jack Thompson. See him up there. Him seeing this as, this is corrupting the youth. Yeah, Jack Thompson right here. It's corrupting the youth, so we must ban that. And he has a perception, so he goes to war against video games. And not everything else, I guess certain safe stuff here. And then you have Anita Sarkeesian beating up the feminist angle and that whole social justice warrior feminist side, seeing it as an enemy, seeing the video game stuff through the character lens. Speaking of character lens, you have David Cage, who sees that as movies and has an obsession with being cinematic. David Cage right here. And we shouldn't do that. I just drew a line. Didn't mean to do that. I was trying to do something else here. Anyhow. So you have this, and just like in a video game, here the aliens that invade have perceptions of that, misunderstanding intention of the artist, misunderstanding reality, misunderstanding scientific findings, having their certain biases, and running video games through a lens that ends up being that the other people who actually play games, gamers, you want to call them, whatever else, I prefer players, don't get it, and you have a culture class over this. Just like in the teaser trailer Pixels, the aliens understood it the wrong way. They took it the wrong way. They saw it as a threat, not as entertainment, but a threat. So you have these characters here, people, who have agendas. And they will view the world through this agenda. And there are certain biases, because they don't have a context and aren't able to relate to other people here. And the thing is, you'll have inconclusive scientific findings go both ways, and because of the bias, it's interpreted that way. Anyhow, this is a metaphor I was pulling out of the video game, and obviously I'm probably interpreting it my own way. Idea of players, but it's something that struck me from the trailer is that I think of the whole culture war, and I think of the movie Pixels, of them being the aliens invading our world, and interpreting things as a threat and turning around as a weapon. I guess interpreting in the movie the aliens saw the video games as military training films and sending it as a threat of this is what we can do. So Pac-Man is turned into an enemy in it. Go watch the trailer. I'm not there. And again, that's why I said micro spoiler, don't watch this otherwise. But anyhow, feel free to share your thoughts on there, what you see the culture war, and if you see certain personal agendas and biases resulting in a misunderstanding of people perceiving things in a way you don't. That's where draining the fun out of it. Anyhow, I will post a link to this trailer in the description below, and also I'll have a little info bubble so you can click over there and go watch it if you haven't seen it yet, so you can feel free to pause this and watch that. So anyhow, that's it. I just wanted to comment on the trailer and do it with a little bit of different perspective. So I do want to thank you for watching. May your die always roll 5.